right. We're good? Thumbs up? No lights on tonight to know? Just, you didn't know there was lights. There's supposed to be lights, too. Yeah. You're going to push some button. Thank you, everybody, for coming to City Council meeting tonight in Spanish Fork, June 16th, 2026. Appreciate everybody joining us in council chambers and online everywhere. We'll get started like we always do in Spanish Fork with a prayer by Councilman Cardin, and then Councilman Took is going to lead us in the pledge. Councilman Cardin.
Yes, thank you. Our dear Father in heaven, we are grateful to bow our heads before thee this evening, thankful for this great city that we live in this great country. We're thankful, Father, for our servicemen and women, our police and our firemen, our fire men and women who take care of us to keep us safe. We ask thee, Father, to please bless them. Please keep them safe. We ask thee, Father, to please bless the citizens of Spanish Fork as we're in the summertime to be safe as we go about the activities of the summer. We also ask thee, Father, to please bless this meeting that we may make sound decisions and have clear minds as we talk about the issues that are going on within the city. And we say this in the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Please stand and repeat after me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Item C on our agenda is some recognitions that are in order. Mr. Tyler Jacobson, our Assistant City Manager, will take it from there.
Thank you, Mayor. Sorry, that kind of snuck up on me, like this employee that's the employee of the quarter sneaks up on people as well. Some of you may know who I'm talking about if you've worked with her before. Her name is Shelly Hendrickson. Shelly has worked at the city now. She just hit her 20-year mark, and this is a wonderful moment in her life. So deserved. 20 years in the making. This is the first time as employee of the quarter, and when I talk about sneaking up on people, the reason I bring that up is because when you come into City Hall, you come into the administration office, you'll see a smiling face, and that's Shelly. One day, Shelly decided, you know what, I'm going to welcome people a little bit earlier in their visit to City Hall. I'm going to go next to the elevator, so if you can picture walking in the back of City Hall, if you haven't been there, maybe these young men here haven't been there, you'll have to walk in. There's an elevator, and you can hide pretty well behind it. And then there's a set of stairs that you can walk up, just 3 stairs. And Shelly decided to welcome a patron by jumping out and scaring them. In her defense, she did think it was an employee, but it was actually a patron. So you never know what to expect with Shelly. I'll be serious now for hopefully for the rest of this time. Shelly has probably a greater knowledge of the city than almost anyone. She's worked in community development when she first started. Then she went to public works, and now she's in administration. So when people come in with questions, she's so great at helping to direct them to the right place, or in some instances is able to help answer their questions right then. When Shelly was nominated, some of the things that were shared was that she constantly goes above and beyond to improve processes, support her coworkers, and provide exceptional service across the organization. We recently, if any of you have signed up for utilities recently or used a form on the city's website, Shelly's the one that manages our JotForms account, which is where those forms are generated. So she's likely influenced maybe even some in this room and helped them to have a better experience. We have a memo that our city manager sends out to all employees each week, and she's the one that coordinates that. And her attention to detail has really helped leave a lasting impact on the city operations. She's great at making connections. If any of you have had a chance to visit with Shelly, and hopefully if you haven't, you get a chance to, she knows pretty much everybody and can somehow connect people with someone else that she's met before. And so just I guess the final little bit about Shelly is she's dependable, creative, always willing to help, whether welcoming a customer by jumping out from behind a wall, covering the office, managing employee travel, or ensuring events like the City Olympics and other employee events are inclusive and successful for everyone involved. And her ability to learn new technology, improve efficiency, and support both employees and customers with a positive attitude makes her an invaluable member of the team. So with that, if we could give Shelley a round of applause. And Shelley, if you'd like to say a few words. Mayor usually is the one, actually, maybe he'll be the one to invite you.
Maybe while she's walking up, I'll say. Characteristics about Shelley is that she's always very upbeat and happy. And so as people interact with her, they'll quickly be greeted by that cheery, upbeat disposition. And it's always refreshing when you get to interact with Shelley. So we love that about her. She's quick to laugh, quick to make you smile, and make you feel welcome, make you just feel at home, which is a great thing.
It's probably best if I don't say anything.
Actually, it's really fun when there are songs. I'm thinking of the play The Sound of Music. How do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you solve for what Shelley's gonna say? You just don't know, and it just leaves you on your toes.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with some things that escape her mouth. Right? It's just a joy. It's always fun.
Yeah, I'll just say thank you. Thank you for your kindness and your friendship. I'll leave it to Jack. He's way more eloquent than I am.
So just to illustrate, we were interviewing Shelley to start here a long time ago. Not really. She was 18. It was 20 years ago, and she was 18. And I was fairly new at the city. I don't remember what year this was. 2006. 2007. So I'd been here a few years. Shelley's husband used to work here, and I would MC our employee things, and so I would have seen Shelley at those events. Dave Anderson was in this interview. You might remember this too, Dave, but we were interviewing Shelley, and I was probably a little bit more comfortable because I knew who she was, and I figured that she knew who I was because she would come to some employee events. And in her very comfortable way as well, after about 5 minutes of the interview, she stops and says, "Now, who are you?" Something like in that same tone. And who are you? I'm like, oh, like we should have been best friends or something. You remember that, Dave?
Asking questions, and I was like, what? Who are you?
I'm sure the questions were like, why do you want to work here? And it's certainly appropriate questions. But it was 2007, so anything went back then.
Shelley, anybody that comes to talk to local government usually has a cheery disposition too, just like you, right? Not usually coming in with problems or anything. But I will say that I've been around Shelley enough to know that usually is why people are coming to talk to their government, is because something's an issue. And so to have someone like Shelley there to welcome people and be smiling and happy and get them in the right place, you make people feel comfortable, and you always make the mayor and council feel comfortable and approachable. So thank you.
Thank you.
It's an important part of being a human in government, and that's not certainly always the case. So thank you.
And Shelley, if you'll stick around, we're going to get a picture after we announce the next employee of the quarter. Thanks. All right, so for our next employee of the quarter, this is the reason that I'm sitting over here, is we wanted to show you a little bit of his work. Some of you may know this gentleman. He's here by my side. His name is Jack Urquhart, and Jack started with us in April of 2024, and he came to us from Springville and was initially hired as our risk manager and was in that role for about, 6 months, Jack? About 6 months. And then was promoted to be the public information officer. And then recently he was promoted to be the first ever communications manager for Spanish Fork City. So as part of that, Jack took on a big responsibility in having a new division that hadn't existed before, and has done an incredible job and has a great team with Pete Hansen and Adam Kill, and also they're both here tonight, and then Travis. Oh my heck. Bourne. How can I forget? I knew his identity. So Jack has just really, you can tell in the short period of time that he's been here, he's excelled. And so we want to show you some of his work. It won't take too long, and then we'll share some of his other accomplishments really quickly. So he and his team are the ones that do our social media. So if any of you follow Spanish Fork, and if then you've seen this. If you don't, definitely need to hop on, just like our city manager hopped on this slide. Give me 1 second here.
You need to be here on Monday.
We didn't hear the first part. Did you hear the sound? All right, so there's one piece of his work. Check this out. This is another member of Jack's team that probably doesn't get as much credit as he should. This is Nathaniel. This is actually a hamster that we hired not too long ago. Teach us. Here.
Recently hired a hamster named Nathaniel Davis. He knows all about traveling in circles, so he wanted to point out a couple of faux pas he's seeing at roundabouts. Some drivers, not you, of course, are driving up to the roundabout and coming to a full stop, even if there's an opening to go ahead. You should slow down as you approach. That's kind of the whole point. But you should not stop unless there are other drivers in the roundabout and you don't have an opening to go. Another crazy thing Nathaniel sees is cars enter the roundabout and then stop within the roundabout to let other hamsters or drivers in. Nathaniel thinks this is nutty. Once you're in the roundabout, you have the right of way to go until you exit. So, remember the 2 golden rules of not stopping. Don't stop on your way in if the circle is clear, and never stop once you're inside. While this may sound like a PSA, it's actually selfish. Nathaniel makes lots of runs to get his favorite dill pickle sunflower seeds, and he wants his commute to be as smooth as possible.
All right, and then one last one. This one's really short, don't worry. Let's see.
What's the most attractive vehicle a guy can drive?
That one.
All right. So that's just a little taste of some of the content that Jack and his team produce. If any of you have ever had a conversation with Jack, he'll make you laugh, he'll make you cry. Well, he doesn't make you cry a lot, but he's really good with words. So we're grateful to have Jack as our communications manager, and he had several nominations. I'll just read a little part of those and then invite Jack to come up and show off his skills. So Jack was nominated as the Employee of the Quarter for his outstanding leadership and impact as Communications Manager and Public Information Officer. Many employees highlighted the transformation of the city's social media presence under his direction, noting that he has made it more engaging, creative, and effective in connecting with the community. Something that's really cool, he had a post. Some of you that post online, what's the most views you've ever had? So he had a post that had over 500,000 people that viewed it. Maybe you've heard of a gentleman by the name of Post Malone that wore a Fiesta Days rodeo hat. That was one of the posts that Jack put together. So we've seen one of the things you look at as a city or entity is the number of net followers you have on your different social media platforms, because that leads to more people actually following your content. And if they follow your content, in the event that there is an emergency or something that, like a public service announcement that the city needs to make, there's a higher chance that they're going to see that announcement. And so Jack's worked really hard, he and his team, to try to improve that. And that one post alone, I don't know why I said post, sorry, from Post Malone, it had 156 plus net followers just alone, which is a huge, huge number. So in addition to Jack's professional accomplishments, His coworkers emphasized his positive attitude, kindness, and genuine investment in the success of the city as a whole. Overall, staff described him as someone who consistently goes above and beyond and is highly deserving of this recognition. I'll add one last thing. When we were looking to hire Jack, I called one of his references, and he said, if I could, I would adopt him as my own son. So you can tell just what a great guy Jack is, and how grateful we are to have him as part of the Spanish Work team. So with that, we'll give him a round of applause, and then...
Well, thanks, Tyler. There's nothing to bring you down in the depths of humility like hearing your own voice on a video in a public meeting. But I just am so grateful to be here and grateful to receive this the same day as Shelley. I think when I came to interview the first time, you can ask my wife this, there was like a 5% chance that I was going to take a job here, and then I met Shelley in that office before my interview and probably increased to like 25%. And then I just kept feeling better and better about being here. The thing that stands out to me is the people. I love the teams that I've worked on. I've been in a couple of teams now. I've loved the city council and your support. Seth and Tyler, their support and encouragement, and I think really enabling me to grow has been exceptional and kind of beyond what I feel like I deserve. So thanks for that. One more thing about my job that I love is just that I feel like I'm in the middle of it all. So I get to connect with a lot of different parts of the city, which means I can be a pest to our other employees. And they are always so generous with their time and their attention and working with me, and haven't come across a bad one yet. So anyway, thank you very much. So glad to be working here.
And Jack's family's here. Do you want to come up, Ashley, and we'll get a picture with you and your family, and then Shelley will get a picture with you and anyone else that wants to join you.
Dallas, you should be hopping on one leg, dude. Hop on one leg. There we go.
Keep moving left to the right, Jen. Let's go this way so we get the logo in the middle. There you go.
I don't know.
Here we are. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good job, Jack.
Thanks, Jack.
Shelley, or Cassidy, come up.
Thank you.
We'll join her.
You're on your own, almost.
Yeah, get in here, Tara.
It's your diploma.
It's the guy's side of the bill side.
Okay, here we go. Thank you.
Thanks, Shell.
Good job, Shelley.
Just one story.
Well done. Well deserved. You're the best.
Good stuff. Good recognitions, good people, and it's always a fun part of council meeting. Appreciate you, Jack, and appreciate you, Shelley, and your families that support you as well. Before we go to public comments, nobody else has a story they want to say about. We got them out. Okay. Councilman Marshall, excused tonight, not up on the dais. He's away on business tonight, so we'll get him next time here. Public comments is the section for any of the public that would like to come address the mayor and council, ask any questions. And apparently Tyler is doing the time since we let Jack. Do we let him? We give him the night off if you get the.
He's got a couple of minutes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Got 3 minutes.
Please come address the mayor and council. If there's a couple of public hearings on the agenda that are later, but if you have any comments or questions for the mayor and council, please come up at this time, and we'll have a timer up there for you.
Got some young men that I recognize. Any of you guys got a question that you want to ask?
They didn't come with a question? Do you want to bribe them with candy for the
We've
question?
got candy for questions.
Hey, kid, want some candy?
Didn't sound creepy at all.
Hopefully that doesn't work still, right? I mean, come on.
Okay, no public comments tonight. We'll go to council comments. We'll start on Councilwoman Beck's side tonight and work our way to Councilman Took, if that's all right. Councilwoman Beck.
Okay, I always like to give a shameless plug for Yard of the Week. I figure if Councilman Euler gives a shameless plug for spade and neutering, Yard of the Week is even funner.
Not really, but it's okay.
So if you, your neighbor, your family has a yard that you'd like to nominate, you can hop online and do that. Also for Fiesta Days, the T-shirts right now are on pre-order. So I'm going to show you. That's the front of it, and it has the America 250. And then this is our logo, if you haven't seen it. The theme is At the Heart of It All, and it's Fiesta Days 2026. So you can pre-order your shirt online until July 1st, and then at that point you would just go into Parks and Rec. I believe most of them are $10 unless it's like a double or triple XL. I think it goes up to $13 or $14, something like that. So next month is Fiesta Days. All of the calendar of events are online, and you can check out the schedule there. The magazine should also arrive in your mailbox the first couple days of July. It was just sent to the printer today. So that's all.
Is that it?
Yep.
You'll see the picture of the mayor and council there in the spirit of the graphic there. We're surrounding a tractor.
Yep.
Is that what, did we land on that picture?
Yep.
I haven't seen it yet. It must be good.
It was a good one.
All right. So we're all in the Fiesta Day spirit. Okay. Councilman Euler.
Thank you, Mayor. As Councilwoman Beck mentioned, and on behalf of the animal shelter, I'll just throw my reminder out there. If you're a responsible pet owner, please have your dogs and cats spayed and neutered. Thank you. Other items of importance. Hopefully everybody's aware of the America 250 that's taking place this year. It's our 250th anniversary this coming July of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, which is pretty cool, pretty exciting thing. A lot of activities around Fiesta Days that will bring that in and talk about that. But I also wanted to mention that within Spanish Fork, we've got something exciting happening this year as well. It's also the 250th anniversary of Fathers Escalante and Dominguez coming into the valley and mapping out this area. And on an expedition as they headed towards California, they made it to Spanish Fork and then decided to go back to where they'd started. And so this was as far as they'd come. And so I just want to get a date on everybody's calendar to make sure that they're aware. The Historic Preservation Commission, with help from the Parks and Rec Department and others, we're working on an event. The 23rd of September is the official anniversary date of Father Escalante and Dominguez, but on the 18th of September, which is a Friday, we'll have an event that will take place across the street in the old city park, where we'll have some dancing, some Latino dancing, some Indian hoop dancing, some Native American hoop dancing. We're working on some guest speakers that will come. We'll have some food trucks. So it should be a great event. Put it on your calendars. So September 18th. We're still in the planning stages, so more details to come, but looking forward to having as many people come and participate in that as would like. So September 18th, and that's all I've got tonight, Mayor.
Very cool. Thank you, Councilman Euler. Councilman Cardin.
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing that I have is the Youth Arts Festival wrapped up this last week. We had over 1,380 spots filled, so a lot of kids doing arts. One of those, a lot of that is paid for by Rap Tax, which is an awesome way to help give back to that arts and recreation and parks. So thank you to all that shop in our city that make that possible, and that's all I got, Mayor.
Perfect. Thank you, Councilman Cardin. Councilman Took.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, I do have a couple things, and good evening, Spanish Fork. But before I jump into a few, we have our president of the Chamber of Commerce with us this evening. Catherine Levin, if you'd like to take the stand for a minute, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Landon, I actually have an invitation for you, if I could pass them.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Thank you. That's great. Yeah.
All right, so just a few things. A new networking luncheon for this month, this Thursday, June 18th, will be at the Hampton Inn. Jersey Mike Subs is sponsoring lunch this month with the presentation from the Spanish Fork Emergency Preparedness Team. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Business of the month for this month is the UCCU branch in Salem. If any of you know David Funk, he's been very instrumental in our chamber, on our board of directors. So we're very excited to celebrate him and UCCU. We'll be celebrating them on June 30th at noon at the Salem branch UCCU. Then a couple of upcoming events that I would love to get on your calendars. They are a little ways out, but the summer's flying by already. September 24th is Business Summit for 2026. That's the flyer that I just passed to all of you. It'll be hosted at the Spanish Fork Fairgrounds this year, so very much looking forward to that. Still working on all the lineup and stuff, but if you could mark your calendars and let me know if you can be in attendance, we would love to have you. It's always a pleasure. And then October 8th is a luncheon with the mayors. We are inviting guests now. We're going to be hosting both our mayor and then Salem Mayor Christy Simons will be joining us for lunch at Texas Roadhouse in Spanish Fork. So if any of you are available to come to that as well, I think that'll be a really nice discourse and meet and greet between our businesses and elected officials. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. Just a couple items I'd like to share with you as well. I had the opportunity recently to attend the Spanish Fork Hospital expansion groundbreaking with Councilman Cardin and Mayor. You were there, and it was just a really neat opportunity to see the hospital growing and expanding and thriving. So that was exciting. It'll be fun to see the changes that come soon there. Also, for those of you who are fans of the pageant world, we have the Miss Utah competition this week up in Salt Lake. There's 52 girls competing for the title of Miss Utah, and we have kind of a special situation this year with Spanish Fork. So it's always set up where the Miss Spanish Fork from last year competes in this year. So we give that girl who wins year of a chance to go watch before she competes. So this year, our Spanish Fork, Miss Spanish Fork 2025, Madeline Smith, she's competing for the title of Miss Utah. But our next year's Miss Spanish Fork, who just recently won, Callie McGuire, she actually will be competing as well. So she will not be just observing and watching and preparing. She gets to actually get a trial run. So she's actually Miss Siegel Lily is her title this year, which is kind of special and great for her and for Spanish Fork. So it'll be fun to go support them. And if you have any questions about the competition, it goes all week. It starts today. It finishes up on Saturday night. It's held at the Capitol Theater in Salt Lake. It's just an exciting time to celebrate young women and how amazing they are. We have so many here in the state of Utah, but especially from Spanish Fork. So that's just an update on Miss Spanish Fork and Miss Utah. And then the last thing I had is it's voting season, and so about a week left to get out there and vote for some important positions around the county, state, and beyond. And so make sure to get out there and exercise your right to vote. And that's all I've got, Mayor.
Perfect. Thank you, Councilman Took. Thank you, council members, for attending your meetings throughout the last couple of weeks. One meeting attended by Councilwoman Beck for me is she sits on the Mountain Land Association of Governments committees with our city too, and some good news coming out of that committee that our taxiway Bravo will be helped funded by Mountain Land Association of Governments. So again, to the public, that's just a bigger area of state funds, county funds, and city funds pooling together to make big projects happen. And when you're talking about the airport, it's always a big project. But thank you to Council Member Beck, Jared Johnson, and city staff in keeping that project on the list, and it's on track to be funded, which Taxiway Bravo is a big deal for the airport, a big deal for the city. So thank you. I think that's all I have for council comments today. Anything else come to mind, council members? Okay. We'll go to staff reports before we go to Spanish Fork 101.
I don't think we have any updates, Mayor, so we're good.
Good to go to green waste?
Do it.
Who's talking green waste? Is it
Got Gatlin here?
Gatlin.
Nice.
All right.
Good evening, Mayor, Council.
Good evening.
Hope you guys are excited as I am to be here.
We are.
Before I start, I just want to put a plug out there for my staff for all the effort, the thought, the planning that goes into this program. We're just going to go over our voucher program, spring and fall cleanup, as well as green waste. So, is there a clicker, Jack? Here you got next slide. So this is just a few materials that we collect with the vouchers. Green waste, household hazardous waste, metal, appliances, electronics, tires, furniture. And it's surprising kind of what you see show up there, especially when we were doing the dumpsters. But so this graph is showing the cost and the tickets used in spring and fall cleanup last year. The 81,000 is the last year we did dumpsters. So we can kind of see what this program's done. It drastically dropped the cost the first year. That was spring only. The second year, we went up to 22,000, and we had about, 2245 tickets. And this year we're at 26 with 2241 tickets. The interesting thing on that, the cost is different because the voucher went up from $10 to $12 this last year at the gate. Our green waste vouchers. So this has kind of been an interesting one as well. So over the last couple of years, it's been pretty level. I don't know why in 24 we had so many. This year it looks like it's coming down. Hopefully that's due to the other vouchers being put out. You can see the ticket count this year. Right now we're at 1222. At only 14, thank you, about $14,500, which is pretty good. The yearly total cost for all vouchers this year we're at $41,559. Total we've used we've used 3,463 vouchers, which is really good. It's been kind of interesting because the ticket count's not really growing, but cost is a little bit. Here's a breakdown of the vouchers used by green waste fall and spring. It's like I said, it's kind of interesting. Green waste is coming down. Spring was really heavy last year, and fall. I think the combination of the two has broke it up, and hopefully this year fall grows again. But we'll see how it goes. So here's just kind of a summary of what we covered, almost the 3,500 tickets. The participants, this is the accounts. That's about 10% of our resident accounts that we have. We have about 13,500 homes that we have accounts for. And then the tons is figured off of the tickets used and about 500 pounds per ticket. So that's kind of an estimate, but and then again, we've got our cost at 41,000. This is kind of interesting. Our cost per customer is about $3.06 a year. And a couple things that we talked about as a crew, things that I think affect this is the weather. This year we had a really dry spring. I think it would have benefited people to be earlier. But how do you know what the weather's going to do, right? So I think that's one hurdle we have is kind of timing of May and October. Is that too early, too late? But other than that, I think we have pretty good participation. One thing that was kind of interesting, back to Jack doing his job, we had 27,000 views, and I looked for feedback, 0 complaints on Facebook. We had 2 comments, and both were positive. So that's really good. The first couple of years, people didn't like vouchers, but it's gone really well the last couple of years. So that's good. Two comments at 27,000 views. We'll take that. Here's just a plug for recycling. Our contamination rate is at under 20%. We're 19.8. That's really good. We've never been that low. When I took over, we were about 25%. So that's continuing to come down, which is due to the new transfer station and our residents learning through Spanish Fork University and spreading the word, which is good.
Would you explain what that means, the contamination rate?
Yeah, so contamination rate is what we send to Salt Lake that they can't recycle and ends up getting rejected and brought back. This is as a district as a whole, not as a city, but that's still really good.
What are the top contaminants that get kicked out? Pizza boxes?
Bags are a big thing.
Plastic bags?
Yeah, plastic bags. And then we have had people just say, well, I didn't think it actually gets recycled, so I've used it as a garbage can. So I think there's miscellaneous garbage that ends up in them. But for the most part, I think people try to recycle. And like I said, it's showing because our rate's coming down pretty quickly.
And when you said, say, plastic bags, are you talking just like the grocery bag?
Yeah.
They cannot be recycled?
Nope. That right there.
I'm not a culprit because I don't have a recycling bin, but I'd like to clarify. I would totally recycle that.
When did that change? That's a good question. When did that change? Because we used to be able to recycle plastics, I think 1 through 7 numbered wise, but that changed.
So the reason they ask for no plastic bags is because it gums up the conveyors.
Okay.
When it's trying to sort everything, it just causes mess. So they just ask that we put all of our recyclable materials right in the blue bin, and then it goes in the truck. It gets separated at the transfer station and then hauled to the recycling center in Salt Lake. So the cleaner we can keep that stream, the better we are.
Okay.
The more it gets used, and we're not wasting resources transporting. So the tonnage that Spanish Fork City's recycled this year is 1330, which is pretty good. And then I just wanted to make it known that the recycling cost will be going up this year from 125 to 150. So just the cost of what it takes to recycle. Any questions?
The weather aspect that you mentioned there, Gatlin, is because our vouchers come out in May, and it was pretty warm in April, so people were spring cleaning before it was spring on the calendar.
I think so. I think that's why we've seen a kind of a decline in our spring cleanup ticket count, but I mean overall it's staying about the same.
And I guess the other point, we're a couple years removed from it, so it's a little redundant to say, but there used to, people used to remember the dumpsters that were put out there, and you saw the cost of what that difference was and the struggle of that, of how it was being used and how it was messing up our parks quite a bit. And everywhere you parked them, it wasn't going very well. So here's the alternative to obviously still be a service that can help people clean up their yards. But not let maybe commercial companies just be able to dump in our dumpsters that were at places, and then those dumpsters, we couldn't keep up with them. Nobody could keep up with them.
Right.
And so stuff was just left on the sides of it, which was making us...
Mayor, on that point, I remember multiple times going to the dumpster to get rid of my trash and talking to people that were there doing the same thing, and one individual and his wife were like, we're so grateful Spanish Fork does this because our community doesn't, so we get to bring all our garbage to Spanish Fork to put in your dumpsters. So many others besides just Spanish Fork residents that were taking advantage of it. But dumpsters, we only did that in the spring, right? We only did that once a year.
Correct.
Not in the fall like we do now. And so even now doing it twice a year with vouchers is a lot less expensive than just once a year with dumpsters.
Yeah, and there's huge benefits. The dumpsters took a lot of staffing. For 2 weeks, we had somebody in a loader continually driving around, cleaning up, smashing them down, trying to get people to pick them up and replace them with empties. It was a mess. Also, like you said, a lot of our residents were paying for Salem, Oak Ridge, commercial that were using them. One morning we had a guy dump his trailer in the parking lot. We're like, hey, you can't do that. You got to clean it up. And he's like, well, that's your job. So, I mean, the vouchers, I get not everybody has a truck, but I think as a community, right, neighbors do find a way to use your vouchers because we want you to use them, and that's what they're there for. But I think it's only fair our residents are paying for what they use and not for what everyone else is using.
It's still a new transfer station. It's in your city, and so if you're getting vouchers, it's not too far down the road to get to the transfer station. If you haven't been there, your kids will love it. Your kids will love seeing the transfer station.
And it's quick in and out. They have good flow.
Yeah. There's not a line anymore. You do get in and get out, so pretty efficient. Use your vouchers if you've got them.
Perfect.
Thanks
Anything
for the
else?
report.
Hey, thank you guys.
Thanks, Galen.
Have a good
Appreciate
night.
your work. Appreciate you doing a good job down there. No funny commentary, manager, on you don't have any trash jokes?
I'm not going to talk any trash, but I will just say that Gatlin does a great job, and he's not here to hear it, so I'll just say it. He does a fantastic job. He's out of here. That's a true public works guy right there. Like, get me out of here. I am done. We appreciate his hard work, and this isn't his first thing, right? Gatlin's he's a fleet mechanic by heart, but the assignments that he gets, he has the assignment for garbage as well, and just does a great job. He just owns it. So really appreciate his analysis, and that switch from the dumpsters to the vouchers. That was a great move. It really saved a lot of the residents' money, and provides a great service. So appreciate it. That's all the trash talk I've got.
All the trash. Perfect. Okay. Thank you for that update. Takes us to consent items on the agenda. There's 3 consent items. Any questions on those consent items from the council? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent items.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilwoman Beck.
Second.
Second by Councilman Euler. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Consent items are approved. 9 is public hearings. There's 4 public hearings tonight. If we haven't heard from Mr. Hales before on the budget, we're going to hear again.
You're going to get a lot of me tonight.
Yep.
This is the lucky one night a year when we approve 2 different budgets. So that's fun. This is the public hearing for the final revision to fiscal year 2026. This budget year will end in 2 weeks exactly, but there are some revisions to be done. General fund revenues are going up from $54.2 million to about $56 million. It's about $1.8 million increase in revenue. Sales tax has performed well. Fire and EMS, you have ambulance transports. Those people are busy. Golf course is performing really well. Those are the big changes there. On the expense side, it's going up about $1 million from about $50.7 million to about $51.7 million. The big things there, we had quite a bit of software needs in admin. We actually talked about some of those in work session before this meeting. One of those was paying for 3 to 5 years in advance, so it was quite a chunk initially to pay for some of that. Engineering had $120,000 increase. That was primarily due to an increase in inspections, for which there is revenue to cover that. Police, a $200,000 increase in the police budget, primarily related to overtime. Our officers spend quite a bit of time at some of the local universities helping staff some of their big events, and we get paid back for that as well. So there's revenue to offset that increase as well. Parks, there's a $200,000 increase there. There was an error on the spreadsheet there, actually, with a new position that caused some of that. And then the very last one is golf, $123,000 increase. They've decided to go to 2 assistant pros up at the golf course. The golf course is very busy, so there's been needed help there. Again, there's additional revenue that's covering all of that. Any questions on those things? So in grand total, the general fund revenues are going up $1.8 million. Expenses going up about half of that at around $900,000. The difference is being transferred partly to save in our land acquisition capital buildings fund, and part of it is being saved. We're actually budgeting to save up to $500,000 of profit from the Fit City Center this year for future equipment replacements of the Fit City Center. So things will be breaking down in 5, 10, 15 years. So we're going to put some money away each year so that we have that cash on hand when those things do need to be replaced. So one thing that's unique about Fit City this year is a lot of the revenue will be a full year of revenue. A lot of families paid for 12 months of membership, but they're only open for 6 months of the year, right? So this will be an abnormal year for Fit City. So yeah, we're looking at around $300,000 to $500,000 in profit this fiscal year from Fit City. You will notice that the fund as a whole is projected to go down $1.5 million. There's a $500,000 loan to the airport fund in that, and then we paid off a loan that the water fund had made to the golf course. It was about $1.2 million paid early there. Any questions on the general fund? All right. I noted this transfer increase of $500,000 there. So we're just saving a little bit more than projected because of the revenue that's coming. Well, the Fairgrounds project, we were able to get started on the Willie Barn rebuild a little faster than we expected. So it's just spending that money sooner. And land acquisition going from $500,000 to $1 million. The city was able to acquire a couple of houses in the next block over. And the greenhouse relocation, we decided to pay for that out of the Parks Capital Project Fund instead of out of this fund. Golf course, they are doing some projects up there. I know one of the big ones is replacing the sand up there.
The mayor's been inspecting those, and he's part of the reason why we had to spend extra money. He's been digging out the sand every time he's on the course.
The mayor told me he avoids the sand.
But he doesn't.
Not in there a lot.
This fund is funded by excess profit in the golf course. So if because even though the budget's doubling what it initially was budgeted for, there's cash there to cover the cost of the projects. Rec Center construction fund changes, $1.5 million increase to miscellaneous income. There's a land sale that is going to be budgeted here. And then a $700,000 transfer from the LBA fund. The LBA fund is their local building authority. There were some unspent funds on the SFCN building, and those funds are being gifted to the Rec Center construction. Parks, we talked about that $236,000 greenhouse is now here in this fund instead of in the Land Acquisition Capital Buildings Fund. Gun Club. The Gun Club has been busy. If you live up on the East Bench, you probably hear that they're busy. The only change to their expense is all in supplies. I think it was all targets. So this change is strictly due to they're going through targets very quickly. They're very busy. So there is revenue to offset this $55,000 increase in expenses. Revenues are going up $62,000. So really good things happening up at the Gun Club. Wastewater fund revenue. There was a grant that we expected to get last year. It didn't come last year. So that $5.6 million grant came in this year, budgeted this year. And interest earnings coming in higher than expected. Water reclamation facility, that's another name for the sewer plant. We had some contingency that changed a little bit. We didn't think there were certain things that we would be doing this fiscal year that we did end up doing. So that was the cause of a $2 million increase to the sewer plant. And then operationally, there's been some things that have cost more to run at the plant as we've been up and running for maybe 9 months now. So we're figuring out what things cost. You can see fuel and utilities being part of that. All right, so that is the final revision, and we'll have another public hearing with the LBA later. Any questions?
Questions for Jordan before public hearing? Thanks, Jordan. I'd entertain a motion to go into public hearing for item A.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Took. Second by Councilman Euler. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
We're in public hearing for item A, which is a resolution approving the fiscal year 2026 revision number 2 to the budget that does end in 2 weeks. Anybody from the public that would like to speak to this item? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to go out of public hearing.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Cardon.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Beck. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Discussion back up here on the fiscal year 2026 revision. Second time on the budget.
No, it's always nice when revenues come in higher than expected.
Thanks for keeping it clear.
Yeah.
Like showing it. It's really easy to follow. Thank you, Jordan.
Okay, if there's no further questions for Jordan, I'd entertain a motion to approve the fiscal year 2026 revision number 2 of the budget.
I move to approve the resolution regarding the fiscal year 2026 revision 2 budget.
Motion made by Councilman Cardon.
Second.
Second by Councilman Took. A roll call vote. Councilman Took.
Yes.
Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Councilman Euler.
Yes.
And Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
Item A is approved. Thank you. Item B for public hearing is the ordinance approving updates to the construction standards. Mr. Corey W. Pierce.
W stands for water.
Thank you, Mayor. I thought about flipping through all 75 pages of the things here. Jesse says no.
Let's do it.
I'm hearing Mayor Leifson say Reader's Digest
I'm
version.
hearing him say that too.
Okay, just checking.
Some kids even just got up and walked out. I mean,
No, they're construction standards. Years ago, I did one in Planning Commission. I presented, rolled through it, and we had a member fall asleep. And they said, "Your voice is so soothing," and I'm like, "I don't think it's my voice," but I'll kind of go over some of the highlights. There's a lot. I'll say most of the changes are minor. There's not really new things implemented. It's trying to clarify things or match what we're doing in the field and have been with what's in the standards to provide more clarity for the contractors and designers. We did add a section on, I think it's funny, we titled it Boring Inspections. When we bore utilities in under the road, we wanted to do a little better inspection with that and some details on GPS and locating those. The communication plan for excavation permits, that was mostly due to change in staffing or people that needed to be involved or communicated to when we close roads or have excavation permits. A few minor changes on manhole sizing and minimum depths of sewer main. Most of that's practical applications that we're seeing in the field. There's quite a bit in the electrical that was mostly just language to provide clarification. Again, what's been happening in the field, trying to clarify it, make it easier so it's less of a conflict as they get in the field. That's the bulk of it. I don't know if you've had a chance to review and if you have any questions or things that I can answer more specific than that general description.
Anything for Mr. Pierce before public hearing? I will tell you this before going to public hearing, but I appreciate our construction department, our inspections department engaging with those that do the work. These usually aren't changes that are just, hey, that's a good idea, let's do that. But it's you engage the private sector to say, you know, what about this, and just using best practices. It seems like we're on the front end of that. So,
yeah, and I should mention, we typically, when these are approved, we'll hold a meeting, invite contractors in to come down and talk through it, understand, so we're all on the same page. So, a lot of times, this is also geared at those engineers designing, trying to get it up front in the plans through the construction standards, so that as you get in the field, it's clear.
Good stuff. Okay, I'd entertain a motion to go into public hearing for item B.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Euler.
Second.
Second by Councilman Cardon. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
We're in public hearing for item B. Anybody that would like to speak to the ordinance approving updates to the construction standards? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to go out of public hearing.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilwoman Beck. Second by Councilman Euler. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Discussion back up here. Any questions council has on any of these?
Makes sense.
Okay. If there's no questions, I'd entertain a motion approving item B.
I move to approve the ordinance making updates to the construction standards.
Motion made by Councilman Euler.
Second.
And second by Councilman Cardon. A roll call vote. Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Councilman Took.
Yes.
Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
And Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Item B is approved. Takes us to C, ordinance for Title 15 update, amendment to flood damage prevention. No floods this year that we have to worry about.
It was a good year for flooding as far as avoiding it, rough year for water. So maybe that's the shameless plug for conservation. Let's all use that resource wisely. Flood damage prevention, we recently had FEMA request or ask us to send in our code so they could review it, make sure it's up to the federal standards. A few suggestions they had, a couple definitions. It had to do with manufactured homes and areas like that, as well as defining violation as a very specific term that they had, and then also referencing the latest date of the FEMA flood maps. So fairly simple changes there to be in line with what FEMA would have us do. So be happy to answer any questions on that as well.
They appeared to be minor adjustments. Any questions for Mr. Pierce on that? No questions. I'd entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Took.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Beck. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
We're in public hearing for item C, amendment to the flood damage prevention Title 15 area. Anybody from the public that would like to speak to that? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to go out of public hearing.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Cardon.
Second.
Second by Councilman Euler. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Discussion back up here. Questions about this update to Title 15?
No.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion on item C.
I move to approve the ordinance for a Title 15 update amendment to the flood damage prevention.
Motion made by Councilman Cardon.
Second.
Second by Councilman Took. Roll call vote here. Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
Councilman Took.
Yes.
And Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
C's approved. Takes us to D, the last public hearing of tonight. Ordinance to approve the Arrowhead commercial zone change.
Jack, can we get the slides real fast, please? Good evening.
How you doing?
Pretty good. This is a pretty straightforward request. We have an existing commercial area, if you can picture in your mind, Arrowhead Trail and Del Monte. It's an area that is an existing commercial corner, and this area is part of, let's go to the next slide, please. This is to orient ourselves. You have the hideout storage units to the north across Arrowhead, and to the south is the Arrowhead subdivision, the residential lots. And so this area is currently part of that subdivision. And what the applicant's looking to do is take two deep residential lots and amend the zoning to square off and create a more buildable second commercial lot. So on the left, you can see the current zoning. There's kind of an odd angle, 45-degree angle, and to the right, you can see the general plan envisions the commercial there along Arrowhead. That's the request from the applicant. A lot of it squares up with some of the findings that you'll see in the staff report that was presented by the Planning Commission with their recommendation. In essence, this is how the preliminary plat was approved. Once again, you see the odd angle there, and so they're looking to take those two deep lots, 147 and 192. That's the area highlighted here. They'd like to change that from a residential zone to a commercial. Planning Commission recommended in favor because, as you can see from this finished look, it would make that second pad more conducive to building placement and layout. Some of the things that were brought up with the Planning Commission is we do have the city boundary. If we go back to the zoning map real fast there on the left, you can see the city boundary. That was established in 1988 with the Sandhill annexation. The uses to the side of it are residential, and so as the commercial lot develops, there would be a requirement for a masonry wall along the commercial portion, and then the residential lots that you can see to the south, as those develop, there would be a vinyl fence as a minimum installed. It's my understanding in chatting with the neighbor today that he is in conversations with Clyde Company to look at some alternative options, but those would be the minimum expectations. Planning Commission did look at this, gave a positive recommendation to the City Council to make the proposed zone change.
Brandon, a couple questions. The lots or this area, when it was zoned, was it a master plan development, or do all those lots meet the minimum standard for that zone without those two lots?
So it is a master plan development, and even excluding those two lots, I've got a number for you in the report. The average is still 12,304 square feet.
Still meets it.
Still meets it.
Any other questions for Brandon before public hearing on this item?
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. I'd entertain a motion to go into public hearing for item D.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Cardon.
Second.
Second by Councilman Euler. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
We're in public hearing for item D, the Arrowhead Commercial Zone Change. Anybody from the public that would like to speak to this item, please come up. Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to go out of public hearing.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Took.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Beck. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Out of public hearing, but discussion back up here. Any other questions?
Makes
For
sense to
Brandon.
make it square so you can actually use the land.
Yeah.
It's a little bit hard to develop that little triangle.
Two commercial lots, is it big enough for a car wash and a chicken restaurant, Brandon, or what? What do we-
That's all it's big enough for.
With a roundabout in the middle.
Just wondering.
So, last time we spoke with the applicant, the corner, sorry, let's go this way. The 193, that it has been sold to Holiday Oil, and then they were looking to do like a retail pad on the proposed 192, but currently that purchase hasn't been finalized. But so as far as the uses, we're hearing it'll be a gas station on the corner and then some sort of retail strip pad on the interior.
So you might get a partial car wash with Holiday.
Yeah, there's a car wash right down the road, but now there's popcorn on the west side, just like the east side. So,
Councilman Argyle will be down.
yep, he'll be down. I don't have to come see you anymore up there. Okay, any other questions for Brandon or his department on that? Again, appreciate the Planning Commission discussing this and the presentation that was given there as well. Good questions came from that. If there's no other questions, I'd entertain a motion on item D.
I move to, go ahead.
Nope, you go ahead. I'll
Okay.
second you when you're done.
Thank you. I move to approve the ordinance for the Arrowhead Commercial Zone change based on the findings in the staff report.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Took, second by Councilwoman Beck. Roll call vote here. Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
Councilman Took.
Yes.
Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
And Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Item D is approved. The east side folks made the motion to do that. You wanted popcorn on the west side too.
We all should have popcorn.
Yep, me and
Popcorn for everyone.
Okay, new business section of our agenda tonight, A, B, and C. First is the resolution approving the 2027 budget. We've talked about 26, now we're going into 27.
Yes. The slide here shows the 5-month timeline of this budget, and this is the conclusion of this timeline. So 2 weeks ago, we had the public hearing. The budget's been available since the beginning of May to the public for review, and tonight it is approved. There have been a few notable changes since that budget was published at the beginning of May. There's been a $200,000 increase in capital to information systems to replace some equipment that's been identified as needed to be replaced. A $300,000 increase in capital to the Spanish Fork Community Network to allow for internet speeds to be able to go to 10 gig. That's actually a rate that you will approve tonight with this budget, is that new rate. A $400,000 decrease in capital needs in the VERC project area. And then some budgeted funds have been moved around within Fit City operations. We found that our budget was a little bit high in certain area with pool chemicals and utilities, and there was additional needs in part-time personnel staff, particularly with facilities and cleaning of the facility. But that was a net zero movement there within the Fit City budget. And then there was a budgeted land sale on South Main that was going to happen in the Park CP fund in next fiscal year, but it's happening in this current fiscal year. So just a couple of changes since the budget was presented 6 weeks ago. And since there was a public hearing 2 weeks ago, there's no need for a public hearing tonight. One thing I did want to note is we received our certified tax rate. That's the property tax rate for the year. And the average property tax amount for the average residential property is going down from like $270 a year to about $264 a year. That's just the city portion. So there's about a 50-cent savings per month on property taxes, going from $22.53 to $22.03 per month in property taxes.
You want to explain why that is?
It has to do, so the city's guaranteed the same amount of revenue as the prior year, but sometimes you have shifts in values. So what's happened is the valuation has grown faster in commercial compared to residential. I think commercial, we calculated about a 17% increase, where residential was only a 2% increase. So more of that property tax burden has been shifted to commercial property owners and away from residential property owners. Any questions?
Okay. Questions for Jordan on the 2027 budget? I think it's been discussed here, but Jack has shown us in meetings before of how to get to this on the city's website and the accessibility of it and everything. But also appreciate the good work of Jordan and all the staff. It just seems like the budget is getting easier and easier to follow, the graphics that are in there and everything else. You can really not have to scroll the whole, how many pages?
A lot.
144.
Yeah, 144.
You don't have to do all 144. Yeah. There's some good graphics in the first 10 pages that you could have an understanding of this budget pretty quick if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think we're trying to make it functional as well as, what do I want to say?
Accessible.
Form and function, accessible, readable. So all of this stuff, candidly, it doesn't mean anything to me, but it means everything to you. So I think that's fantastic. But all of the spreadsheets and all the different tables down below, that's where the meat and potatoes happens. But who wants to look at spreadsheets and tables, right? They're so boring.
I do.
So my appreciation to the various staff members, Jordan and Carson being chief among those, for making the budget, I would say, come alive in a way that's easier for anybody to perhaps digest. What does this mean? And tonight's kind of a sad night. It's the end of the budget season. And from here on out, all you have to look forward to are zone changes. I mean, that's lame.
And amendments to the budget.
And one or two. This is a process that starts in January and in varying levels of public involvement, public meetings, and different interactions. But my thanks to all the staff, the various division managers and department heads, and to each of you for your thoughts, your time, your consideration, and this is not an easy process, but it is an enjoyable process as we put priorities into action. So I appreciate your time and your effort as you consider approving the budget tonight.
Yeah, I just want to echo what the mayor said. You guys have done, staff has done a great job in preparing the document. 144 pages may seem like a lot, which it is, but if you just get on and look at the first 17 pages before you get to all the tables and the charts, there's a lot of incredible, useful information in there that residents can easily digest and understand and be able to see where our tax dollars go. On page 7, there's a line highlighted in red that I love. It says, every dollar has a purpose. And that's one thing I love about city government is it's easy to be able to track and see where your tax dollars are being spent, unlike maybe state or federal government. At the city level, every dollar that comes into the city is spent in a way that we can explain it. So it's great. I just invite and encourage everybody to come in and review and take a look at our budget.
It's also incredible when you start thinking about how much, like this page that Jack is on now, $270 of your taxes or your property tax is what actually comes to Spanish Fork City. But then you start to think of the services that we get in the city, the parks, the roads, we just all the different things. We have a full-time fire. We have our full-time police, and we're increasing the number of police officers that are here to help protect us, and just the incredible things that we're doing in the city of Spanish Fork with those dollars. So thank you to city staff. Thank you to those in the past who have made it so that we can have this type of budget. I think it was Councilwoman Beck or it was Councilman Euler who wanted to put a page in the budget that compared us to all the other entities around us, and I don't know if that's in there yet, but it's not, it's one of those things that we talk about, but dollar for dollar, I would contend that we're getting the most bang for our property tax dollar or our tax dollar probably in the county. So.
Yeah, that's a great comment. Thank you. We'll grab that and put that in our first revision. This has been a weird property tax season, and I don't know if what the real number is, and I guess we may not know until the end of the month, but the number of cities that have said they were going to raise property taxes, and then in the end, how many actually do, those may be two different numbers. But it's a fairly large contingent of Utah County cities that have proposed to raise their property taxes. So we wanted to let that water settle, and we'll highlight that, I think, with the October, in that October revision, and we'll put that into here, and then we'll figure out a good way to go about that, how to show it, because we don't want it to be misleading, but I think that's a great thing to highlight, and we'll note that with the October revision.
Thank you.
Yeah. One of our communities to the south is raising their property tax 116%, or proposing to raise it 116%. I don't know if some of the other ones you can think of, Jordan. I can't remember what Orem was proposing. Springville, I know, was proposing something.
Yeah, there's quite a few, and most of them for public safety related reasons.
You mentioned this, I think, Councilman Cardin. I'll highlight, in the last few years, we've accomplished some things with this budget that I think will be maybe generational accomplishments, like not an easy feat. And have been accomplished without us having to raise our property taxes, which is not an easy feat. And I don't say that to maybe highlight that we never will, or we won't need to. But what we've accomplished so far in the last 5 or 6 years with some of the growth and changes that have come to our community, and to not have a property tax increase, speaks to your prioritization, speaks to the department's efforts to tighten their belts and to review their budgets and to put our priorities first. And like I said, generational in what we've accomplished in adding to our public safety response in terms of a fire department and a conversion from volunteer to part-time to full-time, adding to our police department. And I think with this budget, there's 3. And with last year, we had 2. So 5 additional officers in the last 2 years, which is significant. And that has all come without an increase. And like I said, I don't say that to say that next year or the year after that we won't need that. But what we've done so far is generational. I'm really proud of that, proud of you and your efforts, your focus in giving us those prioritizations and that work, that direction. But this is a big deal, and I'm really proud of what we've accomplished in the last few years.
You should be, and your the departments should be too. $231 million budget should be 144 pages of spreadsheets if you want to dig into the data of it. But I think what was brought up a little bit earlier, the golf course doesn't always have to be a priority in a city, but we have one, and we've made it a priority. And what it's ended up doing is returning funds back to the general fund. And I think it speaks to, again, not just Seth and Tyler and city management, but all the way down through. You go to the golf course right now, you might not think it's a big deal, but you'll go to a sand trap. I'm not ever hitting out of sand traps. I just walk by them. But the sand and the way that they're cut on an edge it's a difference for a golf course. I'm telling you, it's a big deal that you're not just rolling into a trap, but there's an edge to it till you fall into a trap. And it's just a little change that's been made up there, and it's not cheap to do because you got to cut them, and then you got to keep it cut, and then you got to keep the sand in it. And if you've never noticed, there's windmills up by the golf course, so it's not easy to keep sand in there. And so it goes to the sprinkler system of being able to keep it wet and keep it in there. And it's a big science to it that they know that you don't have to know, we don't have to know as the general public. But those dollars spent up there, it just feels like, from a standpoint of watching these budgets come together, that everybody from the top down to the person that's cutting the sand traps takes dollars seriously in Spanish Fork. And so, again, thank you to the departments. Thank you to all the employees that do their daily work, not just the Parks and Rec department that I'm highlighting, but to everybody that takes care of the citizens' funds. You just seem to do it with professionalism and care, and that's not always the case at every level of government, but it sure feels like that here. So from the mayor and council, we see that. I think the general public sees that because in a way that we're passing budgets, there's not a whole lot of questions that come about because we're transparent in the way we're spending money. So with that, if there's anybody else that would like to speak to any more of that, let's do it now, or let's make a motion for the 2027 fiscal year budget.
I move to approve the resolution approving the fiscal year 2027 budget and adopting a certified tax rate.
Motion made by Councilman Cardin.
Second.
Second by Councilman Took. A roll call vote here. Councilman Took.
Yes.
Councilman Cardin.
Yes.
Councilman Euler.
Yes.
And Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
2027 fiscal year budget is approved. Thanks again, everybody. Contract approval for Code 4 Labs. This sounds very Chief Johnson-ish.
Now, before I go into detail about this, I just want to express my appreciation to you for your support for the police department and with the addition of our 3 new police officers. So that's going to reduce workload for our officers and the burnout factor that some of them are facing day after day. So they're very much appreciative and asked me to express their appreciation to you as well. So thank you. So back in January 2026, we entered into a pilot program with a company by the name of Code 4 Labs, and the pilot program consisted of a report writing assistance with the use of artificial intelligence. And basically what this does, it allows our police officers to download their body cam footage as well as their in-car camera footage. And then this program generates a very detailed narrative report for the officer to review, edit, and approve. And this program's been very successful. We had 10 officers utilizing the program. I received very specific details on what it did and the time factor that it saved for our police officers. Very positive comments. Some of our detectives, it was taking them 3 hours to write a detailed report on a complex investigation, and this has knocked it down to 30 minutes. So it's saving a lot of time for our police officers. Are able to spend more time patrolling and responding to calls for service. So we're requesting to enter into a year-long contract with Code 4 for the above-mentioned services, and the contract begins on July 1st of 2026, and then it terminates next June 31st, 2027. The contract amount is $18,000, and it will provide the services to 30 of our officers. Any questions about that contract or Code 4 and what the program does?
Chief, I know we talked about it last time that you did it, but when they write these reports, the officers still have to go in and do some things, right? Can you just walk through that a little bit for the public?
Yep, they have to go through, edit, make any corrections that need to be made, and then at the bottom of the report it does say that it was generated with the assistance of AI, and then the officer has to sign off on that report that they've edited anything and clarified anything that may be in the report.
Thanks for sharing the positive results of the 10 officers who used it, because when we talked about it 6 months, we went into it kind of blindly, just crossing our fingers that it would save time.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to hear how much time it's saving them.
Yep, significant amount of time. So,
Vaughn, maybe I have a question for you. From the attorney side of things, does this cause any complexities for you, like when a case comes to your desk, or is that still the same just because it's...
I think that maybe that's a little bit to be determined, but I don't think so. As long as the officer reviews and edits and basically signs it, makes it his or her own report, I think we're okay with that. It is a little bit of a new frontier, so we'll see as we go.
We've got a tool that we've started using at work that in the past we'd have to create our own tickets, write our own tickets, kind of similar to what Chief is explaining, to where now we can take the details of it and throw it in an AI tool, and the AI will generate the ticket for us. And in almost every case, the details that are now included in the AI-generated tool are much better, much more descriptive. If you were to just hand them to somebody to read, they're going to understand it a lot better than what we were creating on our own. So
exactly, these reports are really specific and detailed, so it's a very impressive program. 32 years ago, we all wrote our reports by hand, and Jill Thorpe entered them into the computer system and printed them off. So we've come a long ways in 32 years.
Bless her for trying to read handwriting.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you.
Very good. Any other questions for Chief Johnson on this? Okay, I'd entertain a motion on item B, the contract approval for Code 4 Labs.
I move to approve the contract approval for Code 4 Labs and move to adjourn from City Council and go into redevelopment agency.
Do you want to do that before item C?
Oh, sorry, I was just reading the thing. Okay.
Okay, she's going to take off the end of that motion.
I just want to approve 4 Code Labs.
Motion made by Councilwoman Beck.
Second.
Second by Councilman Took. A roll call vote here. Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Councilman Cardin.
Yes.
And Councilman Took.
Yes.
Code 4 Labs approved. Item B. Thank you.
we didn't want Matt to dress up for nothing tonight.
He is here. Okay, item C is the CMGC agreement with Barber Company for the new Fairground Arena Stall Barn project. Mr. Dale R. Robinson.
Yeah, thank you. Excited to be here. We get to continue to talk about this this project that's happening. I would like to yield the podium to the Parks and Recreation project manager, Matt Romero. He looks sharp tonight, doesn't he?
He does.
Come here, man. Come up here.
Are you going to take a picture?
We're going to take a selfie. Really good. You don't see this every day, people.
This is somebody who really doesn't care if he's
No.
No.
I'm not talking about Matt. Matt's like, I don't want to be associated with this guy.
Oh. No, I'm actually going to miss Dell.
He's all right.
He's been fun to work with. We got a couple more months. So hopefully brings a couple other projects.
Hope we're done. Please be done.
Beginning, Seth. So tonight we're here for the Spanish Fork Indoor Arena and Stall Barn project. Back in February 3rd, we brought you the GMP 1, phase 1 of it, which was $5,140,400. That was for basically to go ahead and buy the building because the price increase of the steel also gave us some design fees and some bonding in that one. So the last couple of months, I know we were supposed to be back in May, but we've really dissected through this. I really want to commend Barber Company. They're here, Marty and Rob, great guys, very honest contractors, probably the most honest ones I've worked with so far. They've been very good about, we gave them what we were told the number was, an all-in number, and they hit it. They put us there any way they could. One thing I do want to mention on it is to get us to that point, they actually took their general contracting fee and dropped it in half. They cut it right in half. And if you'd probably seen in your agreement that it showed that they went from, I believe it was, they went from a $378,000 fee to $183,000 fee, which is very impressive. They really wanted this project to happen. They felt like our community did it. We do have a little bit of contingency in there that hopefully we don't have to use, and we could help them back with their contracting fee on that. And so tonight we come back with the phase 2, which is a $4,493,446. That's for phase 2, which brings a grand total to Barber Company at $9,633,846. With our soft costs, we have a budget for FF&E at $1,437,520, and then permitting and fees for our building permits and our impact fees of $292,610, which is an all-in of $11,363,976. So we're under by $27. But yeah, I'd like these two to come up. I mean, they spent the time, but they've been really willing to work with us. They had some great ideas. One thing that's pretty cool about this is, I don't know if you remember, behind the outdoor arena, you have all those power lines out there that are all overhead. We clean all that up. It all goes underground. It really cleans up the back of the outdoor arena. And one other feature that we found that was going to work great was the front entry is on the south side now. And so people will be parking in like that, the Reams parking lot area, which we looked at as a safety benefit for the fairgrounds. We don't have patrons and vehicles driving at the same place, so we're kind of pushing the parking back there so people can still move back there with not having to have all the congestion of cars back there and trailers. You guys have any questions on this?
I want to highlight two things to make sure that is top of mind. First of all, half of this project is being paid for by Utah County, and so we're paying for half of this. County's paying for the other half of this. Part of this project will also move the Utah State Extension Service into this new facility. So the arena, which has been known as the Willie Barn, and is only for equestrian or other livestock type events, will change a little bit in its use and function. It will have a warm-up space separate from the arena, so that'll give it some dual purpose capabilities, but we'll also have some office spaces, and the Utah State Extension office will be housed out of here as well. I don't think it should be understated what Matt just said about switching the orientation of the building to face the south and have that access coming from that new parking lot on the south. That's actually a simple but huge change to the functionality of this space. And when we were thinking about this, that concept, in my mind, it wasn't even a glimmer of thought. And then when our team showed the idea, it was like, duh, this is the greatest and simplest change in the world. So I'm excited about that change to make this space function so much better for the fans that are coming to watch any of the events that are there. It'll be really easy for them to get there. And those youth and other participants in activities will have a much better space to compete in, much more visible. And again, these gentlemen have been great to work with. I haven't had any interactions with them individually, but everything I've heard about you guys is just incredible. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really grateful to have them be part of the team on this project.
Happy to have them come up if they've made the trip here. If you guys want to come up and say anything, please. Tara will want your name, rank, and serial number.
I'm Marty Barber, second in command.
Okay.
My name's Rob Weber.
Okay.
I'm third in command. I don't know who's number one. Matt. No.
We usually have Rob come for DRC meetings, so he's somewhat familiar to being grilled. You can grill him.
Okay.
No, we're really thankful to be here and to be able to work directly with you guys. We've done lots in the city. Worked some at the airport. Love your guys' team, and anywhere from the building department to public works. I mean, everybody's great to work with. So we're just really happy and thankful to be here. So.
Well, we're happy to have you. Thank you for doing a project in our city that's a public project like this. That I think, again, it shouldn't be understated. The partnership with the county that again just adds another cemented piece of what Spanish Fork is in our history and heritage. This is going to be a great place for agriculture activities for a generation to come. And so thank you for making it a safe and inviting and pleasing space. All the stuff that we got to see early on of comparable places, it's just going to be awesome to be able to see kids, and especially kids and their talents in this space. So thank you for being willing to do it.
So we've got a rodeo and a county fair coming up. What's your time frame as soon as the fair's over?
So we had a meeting today on the power situation, because right now those back power lines will be right in the middle of the barn. So we're going to start moving power probably first of next week, getting stuff bored underground. It won't. And then we've looked at dates of when we'll stop everything. So everything will be cleaned up out and for the Fiesta Days. And there's some other shows right before that. And then August 3rd, right after the fair, is when we start. So.
Then what's your estimate to completion?
I believe it's March 29th, right before, I believe it's high school rodeo. So it's a very tight timeline. These guys are very confident in getting it done. So we're excited.
The Willie Barn going down is the first action item.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. August 3rd.
Anybody send an invite out to Willie to participate in that?
We probably should.
Here's the final concert.
Dale, we got leftover explosives from the wings and wheels that we can figure away.
We know a guy.
Yeah.
So I think adding on to that, what Marty just said, that taking down the Willie Barn is an important first step. And there might be some, you might hear from some, I don't have anybody in mind, but just, hey, let me come and salvage this piece, or let me come salvage that piece. I don't know if you caught the time frame that they just outlined. We're going to demo and rebuild everything from August to March. That's not an ideal construction window in the number of months, and it's not an ideal time of year. Yeah. And so I think pretty much you've got it outlined right down to perhaps the day. And so there isn't enough time to say, hey, come and salvage this and come and do this. We just can't work with anybody and everybody, because I'm sure that your Uncle Bob will say, hey, I can take that down and just give me a couple of weeks, and we just don't have that. So we've got a very rigorous time frame, and we're trying really, really hard to meet some of those special events that we have every year. That high school rodeo is a big deal, right? Anything, Dale, you want to add to that, or Matt?
Yeah, just that we're salvaging a lot of the stuff in there that's still usable for the fairgrounds facility. If we don't have a use for it, then we will put it on city surplus, and that will be taken care of prior to this happening. So yeah, we're in a really tight window, and these guys are going to be very aggressive in getting things going. So
yeah, our schedule we gave, it's 10 days.
10 days
that we figured 10 days to get that barn down. But the funny thing is, you just can't go knock it down. So we have to kind of pull it apart. So we'll be pulling sheeting off and then taking it apart. It's not like a normal house that we have over here where we can just push it in. So we've looked at that, and we will just pull it apart in pieces and haul it off the site as quick as we can. But as they're doing that from one end, they'll start digging and working footings for the new one right behind it. So there's a lot of complex stuff going to happen on this one, which will be fun.
Very exciting.
Dell, go ahead, sir.
This is not your typical project, Marty, right?
My dad started this business 60 years ago, actually, so this is our second building.
Well, that's not what I mean. Sorry. I mean, this is like
long time.
taking one down and this kind of time frame. That's not typical, but
No, we do, actually.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
But something I've just been impressed is I haven't seen you back down at all. Like,
But just for the record, two things, that Willie Barn's a huge liability with the, I mean, it's been reconstructed and it's not, and the other thing, just for your budgeting, as I listened to this, you've saved several $100,000 between the Iran situation and inflation. There's been 3 price increases since we
Wow.
made this
Yeah.
purchase, so you use your tax-paying dollars very wisely there. So I misunderstood your question there, but yeah, no,
you answered perfectly.
yeah.
Dale, I was going to ask you, we've talked about a few projects that are going to take place down at the fairgrounds, Willie Barn. The budget that we're talking about, this is just the Willie Barn. We're not talking about the horse stalls
and
as
the,
well,
and the stall
the horse
barn.
stalls
Yep,
as well.
It
So all
includes
of that.
it includes the stall barn.
Okay. And is that under that same time frame? Okay.
Yes.
Both of those buildings are now, they're actually sitting down in the pasture down there. So they're here, ready to roll.
Oh, great.
We got them in April, right?
Yeah.
So, yep.
Which it's fun to kind of see. Everybody knows we've got an event happening in July down there that those horses are worth more than the humans usually down there during Fiesta days. And shouldn't be understated how excited Nick and the rodeo personnel are of having a place, just what's been mentioned already. That is, the public doesn't see it, but that's where your barrel racers are warming up. That's where the athletes are getting ready to go perform, both stock and the humans. And so it's a huge improvement for them to be able to have this space and get out into the arena in a safe and more productive way. But it'll also be a place that'll be safe for spectators, which is not the case now. They're crossing paths with stock in there, and so it'll be a lot better. Any other questions for these construction professionals that have come to our meeting tonight?
I think we should have Matt show up like this every week.
Yeah.
You know, the last 2 times Shane hasn't been here, so I was going to show him
He's
what it's
not
like
gonna
to wear a
believe
tie.
He doesn't know how to tie a tie.
Yeah, it hasn't been taught.
Can I make one other comment?
Please.
That Rob kind of alluded to.
Yeah.
We probably built buildings in Spanish Fork, and I'm not trying to flatter you, but your building permit department and the inspectors and the plans examiners are some of our favorites. We work mostly in Utah, but it's truly number one in our book. And when people are trying to buy property and stuff, we always try to push Spanish Fork for the reasons that would include Matt and everybody else here. That it really is. I'm not trying to get blow smoke, but it really is by far superior to the other cities that we work in and trying to deal with them. And we all have a job to do, including you guys. But it's our favorite place to work.
Yeah.
We love hearing
Thank you.
that.
Thank you for saying that. I wouldn't be a good politician, Marty, if I didn't take credit for it. That's from the mayor's.
We work a lot here.
Okay, good. Well, that's a credit to those people you work with, and thank you for saying that. Appreciate that. Okay, if there's no other questions on item C, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve the CMGC agreement with the Barber Company for the new Fairground Arena stall barn project contract approval, and I believe we're ready for this part as well. Now, to go into the redevelopment agency, RDA.
Motion made by Councilman Took.
Second.
Second by Councilman Euler. The roll call vote here, Councilman Took.
Yes.
Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
Councilman Euler.
Yes.
And Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Item C is approved. Did you want you to add something to it?
No, it is.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Technical
it.
work.
Thank you.
Matt, you don't want to stay?
Okay, we are in RDA now. Tara, what are we in RDAs?
Directors, you're a chairperson.
I'm a chair. You're all directors. And I would entertain a motion to approve the RDA minutes.
So moved.
Motion made by Director Cardon.
Second.
Second by Director Euler. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Consent items are approved. Resolution approving the fiscal year 2027 budget for the RDA. Mr. Jordan Hales.
Just to note that there was no revision needed for the FY 2026 RDA budget, so that's why you don't see it there. There have been no significant changes, if any changes, to the RDA budget from the tentative to what you're approving now. The public hearing requirement was satisfied 2 weeks ago, so all that is needed is approval.
No change from the last time here. If there's any questions, speak now. We have had a public hearing, so we can entertain a motion.
I move to approve RDA resolution approving fiscal year 2027 budget and adjourn to the local building authority.
Motion made by Director Beck.
Second.
Second by Director Cardon. A roll call vote. Director Took.
Yes.
Director Cardon.
Yes.
Director Euler.
Yes.
And Director Beck.
Yes.
Okay, the fiscal year 2027 budget's approved, and we have been adjourned to LBA, where we are trustees. And I would entertain a motion to approve the LBA meeting minutes from 6/2/26.
I move to approve the local building authority consent item.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Euler, second by Trustee Beck. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
LBA public hearing. Mr. Jordan Hales, anything changed here?
There is one change, which I mentioned with the city budget, which was that transfer of $700,000 of LBA funds to the rec center construction fund. So you can see in the bottom right corner there, $700,000 being transferred out of the local building authority fund. There's a couple minor changes to expenses and revenues that, yeah. That's well.
With that, I think it's helpful to note if you've been in the competition pool lately, maybe watching a swim meet, there's a massive monitor. I don't know how big it is, but it's large. 20 by 30, or I don't know, it's really big. But the naming rights for that were purchased by SFCN. So SFCN's logo is, that was me, Stacy. SFCN's logo is right there, and that's part of what we had discussed probably 2 years ago, and we talked about, do we want to have a monitor? Do we want to have some kind of a screen? And SFCN was very interested in having their name associated with that video portion of it, and so that just us carrying that out, and we're able to do that from the interest earnings of that the construction project.
Sweet. Very good. Anyway, we could get Adam to do his meeting recap down there.
Sure.
Incorporating that big screen.
I think Adam is game for anything.
Yeah.
He is.
I mean, he'll cut your grass. I mean, if you haven't seen that, he's game for anything.
Your screen, the better, Adam. That we can get your meeting.
Maybe he can do it
recap.
from the Whibbit. Figure that out.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Something. The wheels are turning, Jack.
They're.
These are some ideas for sure.
Okay.
Whether or not they're good or not is a different story.
Man, you give him employee of the quarter, and it's like,
yeah,
filters off.
Yeah,
changed.
Okay, that one adjustment, a couple other minor adjustments there you can see. I would entertain a motion to approve the fiscal year 2026 revision budget for LBA.
So moved.
Motion made by Trustee Cardin.
Second.
Second by Trustee Took. A roll call vote here. Trustee Beck.
Yes.
Trustee Took.
Yes.
Trustee Cardin.
Yes.
And Trustee Euler.
Yes.
2026 revision is approved. Takes us to new business, approving the fiscal year 2027 budget for LBA.
So again, the public hearing for the FY 2027 budget was held 2 weeks ago, so that requirement's been fulfilled, and there are no changes to the budget from the tentative to what you're approving tonight.
Thank you, Jordan. No changes from last time to this time. Any questions on the LBA 2027 budget? If not, I'd entertain a motion approving that budget.
I move to approve the Local Building Authority LBA resolution approving fiscal year 2027 budget and reconvene back to City Council.
Motion made by Trustee Took.
Second.
Second by Trustee Beck. A roll call vote. Trustee Beck.
Yes.
Trustee Euler.
Yes.
Trustee Cardin.
Yes.
And Trustee Took.
Yes.
Okay, that is approved, and we're back into council meeting where we're council members. Do we have
Mayor,
any?
May I ask a question, maybe get a thought from you? In terms of the process, and I've probably asked this a couple of times through the years, and I always want to make sure that we're doing what is maybe current and best. You go through the budget process, right? You have that public hearing, the tentative budget is presented in May, and we have a public hearing in June, and we have today the budget's approved, and 3 different touches. And at some point, it maybe becomes like, oh, I don't want to talk about this again, and maybe if you were sitting in this meeting, you might be thinking, man, they didn't even talk about the budget. But if they missed the other 2, then they've missed other things. We've gone back and forth, I think, through the years, most often landing on the process that we've just followed, where we have the public hearing, no action, then approved tonight. Is that how you want it? Is that how you think it should be? You want it? Do you like it like that? Or if we were done, no comments, no feedback, say in the public hearing 2 weeks ago, would you like to be prepared if you wanted to approve the budget that night that you could? Any thoughts, any feedback on perhaps tweaking that process? I think we're fine. As staff, I don't know that we have any. Jordan's like, where's this coming from? I don't think we have any real issue either way, but just want to make sure that we're not just doing what we've always done because we've always done it. In case there's something you'd like to see different.
I'll speak for myself. I think that I like the way the process is done now because it gives lots of opportunity for comments to be made, whether in public or through email. Though we don't get a lot, it gives the opportunity for that to happen. I like that because I think that it's giving the public as much opportunity to express themselves as possible.
Okay. I
Does
appreciate that.
state law specify any timeframes regarding how budgets are approved?
Just that it has to be approved by
a date.
I want to say the 22nd of June.
But as far as doing the public hearing and the approval the same night, there's nothing.
No, there is maybe one complicating factor, and that is being able to approve the certified tax rate, which we typically wouldn't have until about this meeting, but we could probably adopt that.
Without the number?
Separate from the budget even.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just by resolution if you wanted to do that. And again, I'm not trying to push you one way or the other, but sometimes you get looks from the public or whatever, like, why are you doing it like this? That's so convoluted. And frankly, like sometimes people will say, boy, the way you guys operate is so inefficient. And I always look at them and say, thank you. We're not supposed to be efficient. We're supposed to be public. So that's okay, and if we could do it better and it's legal, that's okay. But transparency often makes things less efficient, but that's okay.
I think you could entertain some flexibility there in a way that if a budget's been discussed long before that last meeting too, and I think the flexibility that I'm referencing is, it's like Seth brought up, this is not a budget where we're asking for a tax increase, and that doesn't mean it's still not a big number that you're approving a budget of, but you're not asking an additional property tax or something like that. There's some other fees that were adjusted in that budget that if people were paying attention.
Yep.
There's some differences there, right? And so to wait for time's sake doesn't seem, but again, the bandwidth, the accordion style that I'd want of it is, I think if we were asking for a property tax increase to fund some section of the city, which you might have to sometime, I think the more time you could have public talking about it, the more time we could talk about it, the more time they could ask questions, we get them to the right answers of what their questions might be.
I agree with Seth in a way that I think it does become confusing when you've got this accordion style. And I don't know, I would almost maybe think it'd be a good idea to do your tentative budget and then skip the public hearing that we had, rather than that meeting, just give a longer period of time from the tentative budget to people to think about the budget, and then this meeting you would have the public hearing and the approval. So you've got a longer period of time for people to review the budget, for us to talk about the budget, and then you could have the public hearing and the approval in one night.
The problem with that, though, is that you don't have a lot of time to adjust if there is things that come up in that public hearing.
That was going to be my comment. I like that there is a 2-week period where you can take any feedback and then do something with it if you want to.
It is helpful.
Yeah.
Which we don't typically, but I mean, you don't want to build.
If it were to come up in I'll just say in the 4 years, I think this is my 5th budget. In the 5 budgets that I've worked with, we've never had anybody raise a concern that they want, which is
Usually only if you have a property tax increase, right?
Yeah, then
I think
there
that's typically when I've seen comments.
But no, it makes sense to allow, if that does come up, to give it time to be discussed and looked at before you vote on. So I think the process we've got now is pretty good.
Okay. Well, thank you for that indulgence. Appreciate the feedback.
And again, I've thanked some people here tonight, but thank you, council, for doing your public service, doing it in a way that doesn't have to create politics where people, I think, like to create politics in financial situations. You do your jobs, you do it well, and you communicate with the citizens of Spanish Fork. You've got a staff that obviously helps prepare that in a way that it is clear and concise and can be understandable, but it speaks to you being in touch with your constituents too, that there's not a lot of controversy here, and that's a credit to you guys as well. Seth won't give you a compliment. I'll give you a compliment. Closed session? No closed session. Okay.
It's a great night.
It's a great night. It's still light outside. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn from city council meeting.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilwoman Beck. Second by Councilman Cardin. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
We're adjourned. Thanks everybody for joining us at council meeting tonight.